Hi, and welcome back to Anna's Angels, episode 3. Thank you, everyone who joined my first two podcasts. It was great to share my story about Anna and ways that I dealt with losing her, as well as other members of my family. Last week, we did talk about ways to deal with grief, how we handle it, and we had a special guest. We had Lindsay Myers here, which is Joey's sister. She shared how she dealt with her brother's diagnosis as well as losing her grandma. So today we have two special guests, our lovely Joey and his mom, Nancy. They're going to talk about things they experienced with the loss of Nancy's mom as well as dealing with Joey's diagnosis. So, welcome, Nancy, and welcome, Joey.
Hi. Uh,
Well, first, I want to say I'm so happy that you're feeling better. It's always so good
yeah,
to see you,
so
and I'm
thank you.
rooting for you always. I hope you know that.
He said thank you. I don't know if you could hear him.
Yeah, I did. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So do you want me to
Yeah, you
start?
can start. Yeah, you can share. Yeah, you can start with losing your mom, and you had your hands full because your mom was in the hospital battling for her life, and then you were also dealing with Joey's diagnosis. And
Yes.
can you share a little bit about your story?
Yep. So Joey was always sick in and out of the hospitals constantly. Um, but they never could figure out what was wrong. He had MRIs. They said they were normal. Then he had another MRI. They found small lesions on his brain, told me nothing to worry about. But constantly, he always had these crazy symptoms. So, and the one person that believed me and would say, Nancy, something's not right up there was my mom. She never doubted that something was wrong. But the doctors just didn't listen to us. So we just had to just keep going and keep saying, like, something's not right. And Joey would tell them, like, I don't feel good. And they would say, well, what? And he'd say, I don't know. I just don't feel good. My ear is burning. And then they would do an MRI. And it was just the same thing over and over again. Um, so during all that, my mom in November of 2023, she had she fell and she passed away unexpectedly. It was something that we weren't even prepared for. Um, so my kids took that very hard. It was very like their first loss, and just getting myself through it and trying to get them through it was one of the hardest things that I ever had to do. Well, that's what I thought at the time. And I actually thought that
And
losing.
I know,
Go ahead. Oh,
and I know it's hard when you're trying to hold it together for everybody because if you break, then everyone else breaks. And I felt was diagnosed that my mom is so sensitive, and I had to be the strong person. I had to be strong for my daughter, for my nephews, for my parents, and just put on this face. But deep down inside, you're like falling apart. So I totally understand where you're coming through, holding it together, even though you're breaking inside.
yes. That was really hard. So I don't want to say that we got through that because we still never got through it. But just when we had a little bit of like breathing room, the pain lessened a little tiny bit. We took Joey for another MRI, and we weren't even out of the hospital, and they're calling me saying that there was a new extreme abnormal find. Does he have any new symptoms? And I said, new symptoms? Like, I've been telling you all these symptoms that he's having. What do you mean new? So they said, well, a neurosurgeon's going to call you. And that was pretty much it. So I'm waiting for this neurosurgeon to call, knowing that there's something wrong with my son. So I finally just called the neurosurgeon myself. You can't do that to a parent. And we found out that he had a brain tumor, and our life changed. And at that moment, like, I always associated grief with death, but you also go through grief with sickness and with seeing your child like fight for their life. and we lost what was normal. Like life was no longer normal after that. And that was really hard. And I just remember when Joey found out, like that neurosurgeon was just like, you have a brain tumor and it's wrapped around your basilar artery and you could die. And that's what this neurosurgeon's saying to a 13-year-old boy, like no child life, no nothing. And Joey took it really hard. Joey, you want to talk about it? Like, do you remember when you would, like, when they told you that you had a brain tumor?
Yeah, I thought she was a monster.
You thought she was a monster? He was really scared. We found him, like, running around outside at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mom.
Sorry. I'm sorry. My little Shannon just came in the room. So we found him running outside at like 2 o'clock in the morning in the backyard, running in circles. Because how does it, at the time he was 13, how does a 13, you were 13. How does a 13-year-old process like what this neurosurgeon just told them? Like, we need to move fast. This is really serious. So he went through his, and as a mom, like, you're dealing with your own emotions. Like, this is my baby. Like, how is this even possible? And then I have to like process what he's going through. So not only am I dealing with my emotions and at the same time still grieving my mom, then I have to deal with Joey's and then my 2 daughters. And it was very hard for them. There was lots of tears, lots of heartbreak, fear. And what we just came together as a family and we got through it. Even on the days that I thought, like, I can't do this. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. You just find a way. The people like you, Libby, like you lifted me up. I still remember when I was in Pittsburgh and I never met you. Like you came and dropped off the Easter baskets, but I think it wasn't you. Like it was somebody else from your foundation. And I remember getting the Anna's Angel, like the card, which is still on my refrigerator to this day. And I have one in my car. We brought it to Pittsburgh with us, and Anna's Angel card and my mom sat right there on the table during Joey's surgery. And he got done surgery really late. And I remember them wheeling him down and seeing him on a breathing tube and a ventilator. And like, you just don't know how to process that as a parent. My sister was with me, so she held me up a lot. But I remember it was late at night and I messaged you and you replied and you talked to me through the whole night. And then after that, like I was so grateful to have you.
We were saying is, we share a lot of the same feelings, I would say. Not sure if you agree. There are certain things that people would say that kind of would like make me feel uneasy. I know that they didn't really mean to come across that way, but like things like, oh, I feel so sorry for you. That's so a shame. That kind of like makes you, we don't want pity, more or less, just words like, I'm there for you. What can I do for you? Just someone's presence there means a lot. Those 2 phrases kind of just like upset me because, like I said, we don't want to be pitied. We just want someone to listen and be there. Not sure how you feel on that.
I agree. The thing I heard a lot is, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. The thing that I heard a lot is God only gives people what they can handle. That
Right.
That's not what I want to hear, because why is God giving this to me at all is what I questioned. The other thing I heard is, be strong. You're so strong. You can do this. Just call me and listen. Let me talk. Let me get my emotions out so I can pull myself together and for Joey. But like, sometimes you have to hold that in because people sometimes are scared to even reach out because they don't know what to say. Like the people that are constant in your life, they just
Right.
kind of,
Right.
what do you say to a mom, like someone that just lost their mom and that now their son has cancer? That's,
Mm-hmm.
I guess sometimes you don't
It's
know what
hard.
to say. Yeah. But I think saying nothing at all and just saying, let's talk. And that's why I connected so well
Or,
with you
simple things.
because you just listened.
Mm-hmm. Just simple things like just listening, right? Listening, and I loved Anna too. Or let's share a memory about Anna, things like that, because you should still talk about that person. I still want her talked about. I feel if someone brings her name up, it's not going to upset me.
Right.
It would probably make you feel better because you're remembering wonderful things about that person. But just we don't want pity. We really don't. We just want our loved ones to be remembered. Today and always. And that's my feeling about it. Joey, if you could give advice to a doctor when they're given a diagnosis to somebody, how do you think they should present it?
I think they should let the
Or,
parents
what
tell
would you want the
them.
doctor to tell you if he was telling you over again?
I would want my mom
You
to
should
tell me
tell the
what.
parent and the parent tell the person?
Mhm.
Yes?
Mhm.
He's saying yes.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think maybe the doctor should, they're trying to be professional and they kind of want to be straightforward for especially the parent and then the child that doesn't even know probably what a brain tumor exactly is and what it can affect. And, I think sometimes they need to really listen to the patient, before they just go in and just say, hey, you have a brain tumor. It's,
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Can you tell us about Joey's upcoming surgery on November the 11th?
Yes. So he has to have another surgery, another complication from the original surgery that he had out in Pittsburgh. Um, it's called Chiari malformation. And what it is basically his brain is herniating into his spine. Um, they were trying to wait as long as they could, but now he has a syrinx, which is kind of like a fluid filled pocket, like a cyst almost, that's on his spine, and it's growing. And now he can't laugh. His head hurts when he laughs. So many things that we just think are normal, he can't do. Um, so they decided that they wanted to do this surgery, that they couldn't wait anymore because one of the things that could happen is he could get permanent nerve damage from that. So they said that now is the time for the surgery. So November 11th, we're going to go in. Sorry, that's my dog. We're going to go in and he will have the back of his head cut open. He'll have a piece of his skull removed and they'll shave it down.
Can I have it? The piece?
The piece of your skull. You have to talk to the doctor. And from there, I guess they'll stitch him up. But really, normally, like for somebody that doesn't have a lot of complications, they would say it's like a 3-day hospital stay. But for Joey, he faces a lot of complications with every surgery that he has. So they're really not saying what we can expect. It could be he's in the hospital for 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, like last time. It's just, we have to wait.
Did you want to say anything else, Joey? Nothing?
Thank you.
How's the dog doing? How's Pug doing?
He's dead.
Okay. Did you want to pick up and show your
Go ahead.
fans some of no?
Yeah, he's gone. They're going to get bugged. He's making his sister get bugged.
Never.
Where's
Okay, cool.
So he's gonna go
I
get
did
him.
want to share something with everybody is about Pierre the Pierre Robert. Pierre was an amazing person, and I did want to talk about him briefly. He was very close with my sister Anna. He was an amazing person. Pierre always there, playing his music, talking to his fans, taking pictures. He went to every single one, and she did probably about, I would say, 8 lemonade stands when she was here. And another amazing thing I want to share is that, when Anna was diagnosed, we let Pierre know what was going on, and he was really upset. And he would check in with Mario. He would check in with us to see how Anna was doing. And, when Anna passed, he was the first one to attend her funeral. I'll never forget that day. It was on a Friday, and it was at Resurrection of Our Lord Church in Philadelphia. And we were just about to walk in, and, no lie, 8 o'clock, yeah, we see this man walking up, long hair, gorgeous. And we see the WMMR truck go by, and he hops out and he walks up and he comes over and he big taken back that, he took his time to come there. And, my sister was there with open arms, welcoming him up to heaven. And it was just amazing that he came. So a wonderful, wonderful man. Absolutely. We have her there. Can you lift him up a little bit so we can? I think we're frozen again. Oh, there he goes. How cute. So I bet that he brings you a lot of joy during when you're going through the hard time.
Does he, Joe?
Do you want to say anything? What's his favorite thing to do? Or what's his favorite snacks, Joe?
The tissue box.
Does he have any special snacks?
The tissue box.
Tissue box. Okay. So I do want to oh, okay. And we have to give him tissue boxes. So I do know Joey will probably be spending like a few days to a week in the hospital. If anybody would like to send our awesome, amazing here Joey card, please visit me at Anna's Angels on my Facebook page, and I will get you information on where to send a card, or what. I'm pretty sure he wants to be kept busy in the hospital. So you already have a bunch coming your way, Joey. All the kids at Neshaminy Kids Club after school program made you cards, so you'll be getting them shortly, and you love them.
Yes, he did.
You know that.
He loved those cards.
He likes the cards. I know some of the kids wanted to make some videos too. Nice.
Yep.
Anything to cheer you up. Nancy, did you want to share anything else? Or any other ideas or things? Okay.
I just want to say, for any other mom that's going through it, just take it one day at a time and pray.
And I'll play video games with that little boy.
Oh, and Joey will play video games with anybody that wants to play.
Thank you. Well, we are praying for you, and on my next episode, we'll share Joey's progress and how his surgery went. And again, thank you everyone for joining Anna's Angels and taking the time to listen, to grief and still dealing with it. And Nancy, with the holidays coming up, I know that the holidays are extremely hard. I would say the first year, I think, and you're getting used to it. Anna passed in September, and then Christmas was December. So we were still trying to, I can't even describe the feeling. It was like a feeling of numbness.
Yes. I know that feeling.
And to me, possible. And I love Christmas, her thing. And like I said, she was always dressed to nines, always making her favorite foods. And then I thought maybe the second year would be easier, but I think it gets harder every year because you're hitting all these milestones and events, and then she's not there, and then you're wondering in your head, I wonder like how this would be if she was here. I wonder how that would be. And my daughter's graduating college in December, and she was very close with my daughter Antonella, and we want her to be here. And then like just growing old together and like seeing our kids get married, all these things that you want your sister here for. And
Yeah.
that's what hurts the most, is those kind of feelings.
Yeah, it does.
And
Like
then
all
there's
the
people
times
here
where,
that are fighting with their siblings. That are, yeah,
yeah, and all the times you want
fighting with your sibling and just not, getting mad over. Yeah,
I was gonna say pick
but
up
you're
the
so
phone
lucky to
call.
have a sibling. If you have one, yeah, some of my friends have siblings that live down the street and they never even see them. And I think that of course you're going to fight with your siblings and you're going to have your differences, but at the end of the day, it's still your family because once they're gone, they're gone. So cherish every moment. And like I said, life's too short. Life's too short. So again, God bless. Thank you, Nancy and Joey, for tuning in. And we hope that I know, not hope, we will have wonderful news in 2 weeks.